با فراگیری زبان انگلیسی در اتارد اهداف اکادمیک و مسلکی خود را تعقیب نمایید.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. Welcome to the practical English learning program again. Today we're going to have a very short clip about the deletion or omission of relative pronouns in adjective clauses. Keep in mind that we can remove the relative pronouns in adjective clauses in objective case only. In other words, when the relative pronoun functions as an object in our adjective clause, we can remove it. But the case, it should be a restrictive adjective clause. In non-restrictive adjective clause, the omission of relative pronouns is not possible. Look at these examples. The man who serves his country honestly lives in Kabul city. Our adjective clause starts here, who serves his country honestly. In this type of adjective clause, the omission of relative pronoun who is not possible. Why? Because the relative pronoun functions here as the subject of this main verb. So when it functions as a subject in an adjective clause, we can't omit it. Look at the second sentence. The girl whose father is a doctor is my student. The adjective clause starts here and it ends before the main verb of the main clause appears. Again, in this type of adjective clause, the omission of the word whose is not possible because it is possessive case. In possessive case, we cannot delete the relative pronoun. Look at the third example. Afghanistan, which we love a lot, is a beautiful country. The adjective clause starts here, which we love a lot, it's your adjective clause. Again, we cannot omit the relative pronoun which here because it is non-restrictive adjective clause. It's non-defining adjective clause. So now, the omission of relative pronouns is possible. Number one, in objective case, when the relative pronoun functions as an object in our adjective clause. Number two, in a restrictive or defining adjective clause. The other three examples here that you see, in these sentences we can omit the relative pronoun. The boy whom I saw yesterday was one of the best students. So, instead of whom, we can use the relative pronoun that because this is a defining or restrictive adjective clause. It gives essential information about this noun boy. So, first of all, the relative pronoun functions as object in this adjective clause because the pronoun I is subject, sa is the main verb, and the relative pronoun functions here as an object. So we can omit it. And we can say the boy I saw yesterday was one of the best students. It's correct. Look at the second sentence. The book which I read last night was very interesting. So our adjective clause which I read last night, it is an objective case, which means that the relative pronoun functions here as an object, and it is restrictive or defining adjective clause because without this information in the adjective clause we don't know which book the speaker is talking about. So instead of which, we can use the relative pronoun that as well. And we can omit the relative pronoun. And we can say the book I read last night was very interesting. And the final example, the place which we visited last Friday was very green. So here, which we visited last Friday, this is also objective case. The relative pronoun here functions as an object, and it is restrictive or defining adjective class. Therefore, we can omit the relative pronoun, and we can say the place we visited last Friday was very green. So, again, if our adjective class is an objective case, in other words, when the relative pronoun functions as an object in our adjective class and it is restrictive adjective class or defining adjective class, we can omit the relative pronoun and the sentence will be still correct. And it's very common, specifically in spoken English. Native speakers use, these kind of sentences a lot. Let me give you a few oral examples and we're going to be done with today's explanation. The markers I use are made in China. The city we live in is very big. The country we love is historical. The grammatical point I explained today is very important. The man I taught last year got a very high score on TOEFL exam, or the student I taught last year got a very high score on TOEFL exam. I hope you enjoyed this short clip of the deletion of relative pronouns and adjective clauses. And bye-bye. Have a great time.
با فراگیری زبان انگلیسی در اتارد، اهداف اکادمیک و مسلکی خود را تعقیب نمایید.